Hey everybody, Laser Beam of Truth here, and today we are going to make some venison jerky. We're actually going to make a lot of venison jerky. Going next door over to my dad's house so that I can use his KitchenAid meat grinding apparatus to grind my jerky up. It's been sitting in a brine solution for almost 24 hours. Well, actually there's two different batches that we're gonna do. Both of them are hot. I like my jerky hot. So I'm gonna give you the recipes for a couple of different jerky plans here, or jerky recipes, and show you how to do this so that you can do it yourself. But okay, so this is my jerky that I started at about 1 o'clock yesterday. It is now 1:22 today. So what I'm going to do here is I've got to get this jerky out of the brine solution and drain the solution, and then I'm going to grind it with the meat grinder, which I've got to hook up here. So I'm going to get to that, and I'll show you this just in just a second and see what the next step looks like. Okay, before I drain this, I just want to let you guys know what's in this brine solution. I'm estimating that I've got approximately 10 pounds of venison in this batch. I have another batch with a different recipe that I'll show you after we do this one. But I'm going to let that one marinate a little bit longer in the brine because I didn't finish that one until later in the afternoon yesterday. But this brine solution is, as you can see, there's a bunch of seeds and red pepper in there. That's fresh from, well, not fresh, that was in my garden over the summer. There's actually serrano and jalapeno and some habanero peppers that I let dry, and then I ground them all up. So probably, I don't know, maybe 20 ground up hot peppers, 20 dried ground up hot peppers in there. The rest of it is just a basic simple brine solution. So I believe it was approximately a quart of water per every 5 pounds. This was 2 1-gallon bags, and there's about 5 pounds of venison in each 1-gallon bag. So this one has 2 quarts of water per bag, half of a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of pepper, and a couple of, maybe a tablespoon of black pepper. So basically it's just salt, brown sugar, black pepper, and ground up dried peppers, hot peppers. So just wanted to let you know. I'm going to go ahead and drain this now, and I'm going to start grinding it in just a minute here. Okay, so I just kind of drained it out in the colander, and there actually wasn't enough room in this this particular colander to put it all in there, so I've got some over there in a bucket as well in the other sink. But I'm going to go ahead and start grinding this up and putting it back in the bucket, the big Tupperware container that I had it in. I'll go ahead and get started doing that. Okay, so now I am done with grinding it. As you can see, I've got now 10 pounds of ground, marinated, or brined venison, and that's in there with the hot peppers. So the next step is to take my handy dandy little jerky squirting gun. I wish I had a bigger one. This is absolutely the most labor intensive part of the process. However, it's worth it at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt this meat into strips on a rack, on a smoker rack, actually several smoker racks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so now I've got 4 racks completely covered with my squirted out jerky. I'm just gonna put some pepper on it real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and get the smoker going. So that's the next step. This is the next batch I'm going to do, by the way. I'm out in the garage right now. It doesn't look like I'm going to have time to do this one today, because as it turns out, the one that's in the smoker right now is only about half of that first batch. So I weighed it and on a scale, a digital scale that goes up to 11 pounds, and it said error. So apparently I had a little bit more than 10 pounds. Apparently I had probably 11 or 12 pounds to begin with here. So it looks like I've got about 6 pounds of venison on the rack here. And this bugger's warming up right now. Go ahead and shut it down. I'm going to smoke it at 150 degrees. And it's going to stay in there for about 2 hours. It is about 2:30 now. So it took me about an hour and 20 minutes to grind all that meat up and then squirt it out on the racks. By the way, the one thing you want to make sure you do is before you squirt your meat on your racks, if you're going to try and replicate this jerky, you want to make sure that you put some kind of a, butter, or I used shortening and just kind of smeared it all over the racks. That just helps release the jerky when when you get time to take it off of the rack. So, this guy's warming up right now. It's very cold outside right now. It's only 44 inside the smoker. So I'm just going to sit here and make sure that this gets to 150 and that it stops and stays. This is a really nice smoker. By the way, this is actually the first time I'm using this smoker. This is my dad's new toy. He likes to smoke hams, bacon, kielbasa, smoked sausage. I mean, he just went gangbusters on the homemade meat production this year. We used to have, well, we still have a propane smoker. But this is just, it's a lot more precise, and it's also bigger, which allows us to, smoke the larger pieces of meat, the hams and stuff, which we could not do in the gas smoker that we had. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this warm up, and I'll show you the next step in just a minute. What's up, everybody? So we're back here now. Just going to kind of show you. This is some hickory chips, and that's going to be what we get our smoke from. It's still building temperature. We're up to 93 now. I'm just going to show you this book, though. This is a book my dad got. It's basically like the Bible of sausage and meat curing recipes. Just going to kind of show you the recipe that I did for the second one, which is this hot pepper recipe right here. Quarter of a cup of soy sauce. Now this, by the way, this is for a 3-pound recipe, as you can see right there. But since I'm doing 8 pounds in this batch, I tripled the recipe. So I used about a half a cup of soy sauce in this batch, 3 tablespoons of Instacure #1, which is, you have to look that up to know exactly. It's some kind of a nitrite or nitrate combination. I used about a half a cup of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit more than a half a cup of cayenne pepper sauce, which is like, Tabasco sauce. I used 3 teaspoons of garlic salt instead of garlic powder, and I also used 3 teaspoons of onion salt instead of onion powder. I just didn't have them, and you really can't have too much salt in jerky. Anyways, I used 6 tablespoons or teaspoons of black pepper, and I didn't have chili pepper, so I just skipped that. And I used 3 cups of water, obviously. So that's what the other batch is that's marinating or soaking in the brine. And because I still have quite a bit left of the Yeah, I've got half of that left, or almost half of it. And tonight I've got my brew club, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to finish smoking that today. It looks like I'm going to get one batch done, and then tomorrow I've got a lot of work to do, but gosh, you know, it's not a big deal to let this stuff soak for more than you know, more than a day or the 24 hours in the brine. Actually, the longer you soak it, obviously the more flavor that gets in there. But I'm hoping that other recipe, the one that I just got out of the book, turns out pretty well. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go here, and we'll bring it back up as soon as we're pulling the jerky out, show you what it looks like when it's done. By the way, actually, there's one other thing I wanted to mention to you here. A lot of people are probably going, well, what's wrong? Why are you doing it, you know, grinding it? You know, why are you squirting it out on the racks like that? A lot of people prefer whole meat. I've got a really good friend, my buddy Adam, who's constantly entering into the whole meat versus ground meat debate on the jerky front. And there's three big reasons why I grind the meat. First of all, it's easier on folks' teeth, rather than whole meat is generally why they call it jerky. Whereas when you grind it, you know, even my grandpa with his dentures, he can grab a piece of it and chew on it. You know, whereas if it was a whole meat type style, that is a lot different. The other thing is consistency. When you grind the meat and squirt it out, it is more labor intensive, but it takes more time to do it, but it's a much more consistent finished product, because, you know, you do the whole meat, and you know, some pieces will be that thick, and some pieces will be that thick, and some pieces will be that thick, and, you know, some pieces will be that big, and some pieces will be all skinny, and so you'll get a totally hard to smoke batch, because obviously your thicker pieces are going to take longer to totally dry and smoke out in the smoker compared to the smaller, skinnier pieces. Whereas when you squirt it out on the rack here like this, like what I'm doing, although there will be variations in the temperature within, you know, inside the smoker, it will always end up being much more consistent. Now, I may have to rotate the racks to make sure that I end up with a fairly consistent finished result. But by and large, those are the two biggest reasons. Well, the third is taste. You know, I've been doing my jerky like this for going on 5 years now, and I will never go back. It is so good. I kid you not, I've had 5-pound bags of the stuff that miraculously disappear in a day at a family gathering. I mean, people just hammer the crap out of this jerky. They love it. So anyways, those are the three big reasons: taste, consistency, and it's easier on folks' teeth to have the you know, the ground out and squirted jerky. But all right, I'll bring it back up when we're pulling it out of the oven so you can see what the finished product looks like. Okay, I had to turn it up to a little bit higher temperature to what I normally smoke it in the gas smoker, but it should be pretty much done now. I'm gonna check it and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. And here we are back in the kitchen, finally. Took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to, but it turned out very, very well. I snitched this little piece right here just to kind of test it about, I don't know, half hour, about 20 minutes ago, and it was still a little bit too moist, so I left it back in there for another 20 minutes. But this is the finished product. What I'm going to do now is just take some scissors and cut right down the middle. So I've got pieces that are about this long, because this is like almost 14 inches from there to there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed my venison jerky recipe. See ya.